Hi, this is Ron Edwards, Master Sommelier and Director of Wine Education for Weinbo. Today we're talking Austria. We're talking specifically about Rudi Pichler, one of the really great growers of the Wachau region, which is on the Danube River, west of Vienna. This particular producer owns about 37 acres of vineyards spread across three different villages, Vosendorf, Joking, and Weissenkirchen. And this particular bottling of Gruner Veltliner, that's Gruner Veltliner, that's the grape involved here, is from a spread of vineyards across those villages. And primarily he's got his Gruner Veltliner planted on Luss, which is the windblown silt that is really great for Gruner Veltliner, as well as on vineyards that are based on primary rock and gneiss. A little bit too much data perhaps, but you know the Austrians and especially the Wachau producers are very, very keen on their geology and how it affects each particular grape variety. Rudi Pichler is a super well-respected winemaker, and this is just another great example of how good he really is. So this is the 2019 Federspiel. Now, Federspiel is a term that the Vinay Wachau producers, it's an association of growers, created back in 1983 to indicate a certain level of ripeness. And this is the middle tier, and it's named after a falconry tool, interestingly enough. So let's find out what it smells like and go from there. So I think you're finding like Meyer lemon and lime, really ripe lime, like kaffir lime. And then right next to that is that classic white pepper, some people call it ginger note of spice from Gruner Veltliner. And then we move into that sort of vegetable herbal note that for me is like lentils and parsley. And then it's green apple skin on and little bit of pear, and then it sort of floats into a melon note. Not a real ripe melon. Honeydew, I think, would be what I would call it. There's also just a small undertone of actual honey. The wine smells delicious. It's got a little ripeness to the nose. It smells like it's going to be both spicy and lush. Let's find out what it tastes like. I will note that it's definitely got that wet, rocky, stony kind of aroma profile that we kind of associate with the Wachau. Classic Gruner Veltliner, spicy, fruity, and cleansing. So the wonderful thing about Gruner Veltliner is the acidity isn't really like in your face. It's not a razor blade cut kind of thing. It's a little softer than that. Very refreshing, but not shocking. Like dry Riesling can sometimes be shocking. Gruner Veltliner is not quite like that. So you're going to get, well, it tastes about the same as it smells, although it is now leading with the spice and the minerality, that sort of wet stone smell of wet slate patio, or maybe you like to fly fish and it's the smell of a babbling brook that you're walking across. But there's definitely that sort of earthiness to it. Then comes the fruit, and it's pretty much the same fruits. There's that kaffir lime and Meyer lemon, as well as apples. It's green apple, and I think the skin's still on it. Maybe you've wedged it or something like that. And as ripe as melons, honeydew would be is where I would end up. The wine is, I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it's not super light either. It's in that medium-bodied, has enough texture to certainly notice it. It's really going to work well on the table with medium weight dishes. It is definitely going to be that savior wine in the spring when you want to have morel mushrooms and asparagus and ramps and things like that. Gruner Veltliner is great with green vegetables. And this one is going to be particularly delicious with mushrooms because there's that earthiness in there that really is going to meld well with those kind of dishes. This is a wine that when you hand it to somebody, you can say to them, this is what Gruner Veltliner is supposed to taste like at a high quality level. There are lighter versions of this and there are more powerful versions of this. grape, but this is that middle ground, expected level kind of concept at a high level of expertise. Rudi is such a great winemaker. I love this wine. You definitely want to go find a bottle of it and try some yourself.